Hi, I'm Danny, your neighborhood astrologer, and welcome to the first episode of My Planets in What?
My Planets in
The
First
podcast
episode.
the podcast for the cosmically curious, chaotically aligned, and anyone who's ever wondered, wait, what even is a rising sign? So we're not just doing vague
I don't know
horoscopes.
where to look. I'm just like keep
Just
looking
look at me. I think that's fine.
Yeah. It's cute. I think it's good
Yeah.
because it's like when I'm on a Zoom call and I hide self view because then I'm like staring at
Don't
myself
look
the
at
whole
yourself.
time.
So I just want to say what the show is not. So we're not doing like vague horoscopes. Mercury retrograde is not ruining your life. And no chart shaming
sure?
is allowed. So every sign is welcome at the bonfire.
No chart shaming, good, because I am a Scorpio and they get a really bad rap.
They do. Why do you
get a-
think Scorpios get a bad rap?
I think they get a bad rap because they're a sign of extreme. And I think when you meet an untransformed Scorpio, like
Untransformed, the shade.
no, what I mean in the sense of like a Scorpio that hasn't worked on a lot of their shadows or hasn't worked on a lot of how to deal with their extremes, then of course all the people are going to see is like, oh my gosh, they're jealous, they're vindictive. And it's
Totally.
like, I've been all those things, but I've also worked a lot on a lot of those things. And I've met people who are nuts of all signs.
That's true.
So-
That's true. We're all crazy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So welcome to my my fun podcast show. My friend Carly Pandza. She's a actor. She's a model. She's Linda Evangelista. Yeah.
What's a Linda?
So-
Wait.
Linda Evangelista. She's a supermodel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, James, my husband, has been trying to make the model thing. Every time we walk into like Sephora, he's like, look at that buzz head baldy. That could be you.
That could be you.
That could be you.
Oh my God. So Carly is a good friend of mine. We went to college together and we've always stayed in touch. And one of the things that we've always sort of been curious about is just like our spirituality. So that's just kind of a touch point. But I have some kickoff questions for you to help everyone get to know you a little bit and why you're a cosmic queen.
Also, there's a cat on my lap. If you see, Max is on my lap. So if you see me stroking and don't see
You're
a
not
tail,
stroking yourself.
I'm not touching myself. Or
So Carly, what sign do you irrationally hate and why?
Aries.
That's quick.
Mainly just because high school sweetheart, very untransformed Aries. And like, I don't have a thing. I actually think that like initially when I meet fire signs, I have this like, I actually get along with like
What about
all
me?
signs.
I'm a Leo.
You're a Leo. I
Yeah.
know that. Yeah. I didn't say Leo. I said
You
Aries.
said fire signs.
No, I know. When I initially meet fire signs, there's always actually the initial getting along really well. And that kind of like spark. And I think maybe it's because of the water and the fire, like
Yeah.
makes
A
the
little steam.
a little
steamy
a
moment.
little opposites attract kind of thing. But yeah, he was just really untransformed. And there was just a lot of aggression and a lot of
I just
verbal,
was so surprised.
close to physical abuse.
I did not
So,
expect anyone to be that quick to.
Yeah, it's really just because of that.
Okay.
I
So
can't
just,
really think of
just high school drama.
high school
memories,
drama,
trauma.
first relationship. Like, there were some things where I'm like, whoa. But anyway, I've met Aries since then and have been lovely. But I've in my mind's always been like, do not get in a relationship with an Aries.
Well, to the Aries out there, we still love you.
We still love you. And I think that if I met an Aries now, and
if they were transformed,
I mean, it's hard to be transformed in high school. It's just
it's
a lot
hard
of
to be
things.
transformed at all.
Period. It takes so much effort.
Okay, so you said you're a Scorpio, but what sign do people usually guess that you are if they guess?
I've had people guess Libra.
Really?
Yeah, and I've had people guess like
Isn't your
Pisces.
sister a Libra?
My sister's a Libra, so
Yeah.
is James. A lot of
Libras around
air
you.
energy.
Because they balance it.
I think it's because, okay, speaking of, you'll have to break this down in the episode or maybe at some point. So the main one I am is a Scorpio, but the
Your sun sign.
rising,
Yeah. your
rising moon. I have it on my phone. I don't remember which one is which. Both of them one is Aquarius and the other one is Gemini. So I don't know if it's because it's funny.
I'll have to take a look. I mean, those are both air signs, so,
Yeah.
and
It's a water. Am I nuts?
Aquarius is called the water bearer, but it's
Oh.
actually an air sign because they're intellectuals and they're iconically the sort of political activists of the
Mm,
zodiac. Like they want to fight for the underdog.
yeah, that's very me. Anyway, I think maybe because of those, and they're both air
Yeah,
signs,
so the Libra kind of fits in.
there's a lightness to my energy. I've always, because they always talk about Scorpio as being fixed sign. And I actually think I'm pretty adaptable, and I like to go with the flow.
That's more Gemini, actually.
So maybe that's
The Gemini.
why. But I'm like, I'm still very much a Scorpio. Like,
Yeah,
cry
we
in
know.
everything.
We know.
We
We know. The plural
pervert,
we.
the pervert.
Yeah.
We know. Can't you tell, by the
We
way?
know. Do you have any birthday twins? Like people who have the same birthday as you or like nearby birthdays?
My bestie BFF, Michael, from high school.
Shout out to Michael.
Shout out to Michael. We used to tell people when we would meet them, Michael's Black, by the way, different race than me. So we thought it was really funny. We had this whole bit, almost like we like practiced it, where we'd meet people and be like, yes, oh yeah, we were born in the same day, same hospital. And then one of us, we'd take a beat and be like, same. And then we would just not say anything. We thought it was really funny because the expressions on people's faces would say it all. And then they'd be like, great. Trying to figure it out. I mean, we don't, he's in different cities, so we can't do that as much anymore. But Michael for sure. And then
Wait, is it actually the same birthday?
same exact birthday.
Oh my God.
So we joke about being,
So you are twins.
we
You do have a
joke
birthday
about
twin.
being birthday twins. Like he was born at 10/27, which is really cool to be born at 10/27.
A night baby.
On 10/27.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I was born at like 1:48 in the afternoon. So, but we still do like to joke that we were like in the thing together, like with
holding
our little
hands.
hands. I don't think
You're vibrational.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I think they have them divided. All the babies are trying to like grab each other. But celebrities, I actually don't remember. I'm better at because I started getting really into human design lately. So
I like human design.
Oh my gosh,
We could do a
it's-
whole
yeah.
episode about
Oh my gosh,
human
please
design.
let's like multiple parts because I like the element of it. Actually feels a little bit more specific.
It's sometimes it feels like a little more actionable
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, like I have this skill, but I don't have like it prevents or this is preventing me from
Yeah.
executing this.
I like
Like
it.
I remember one of them, mine that I have is I think it's rhythm or something like that. And
Mhm.
it's not necessarily like dancing rhythm. It's like I understand timing.
Mm,
So like I kind of know when to show up to things. I have like a natural
flow,
flow
rhythm
of
of
like where
life.
I should be.
mhm.
So I think that I think about that a lot.
Yeah. I like that it has certain specificities where, for instance, me and Michael are both projectors, being born on the same day, but he's a
You
different.
are. That's
Yeah.
rare.
He's a different profile than me. It's funny. They always talk about projectors kind of magnetizing towards each other, and I have so many in my life, even
That's
though they're
very rare.
only
I think projectors are like,
20%
yeah.
of the population. I think it's because projectors naturally see people and they're so used to doing that. So it's like you're attracted to people that see you. Like sometimes I'm like, I just need to go hang out with a projector to be reminded of who I am. Because I'm like, I've been seeing people all day. And like someone,
Who am I?
Stevie. But yeah,
Um,
I remember a lot of celebrity. Now I like know all of the celebrity projectors because I'm a little obsessed.
Isn't Obama in a projector?
Obama,
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe, Nelson Mandela, JFK.
Wow, you just threw
No,
Nelson Mandela in there.
Spielberg, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift. Like, so I start to see it through this lens of
Interesting.
they're very they like have specific niches and
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how gay would you say that astrology is?
10 out of
That's what I think.
10 out of 10.
I don't know. I
For
just like
sure.
as soon as you bring up astrology, like the gays come out of nowhere,
Right.
and the allies.
I feel like it's like anything that kind of has that woo woo, like where people are like, is this grounded in reality? Who cares? Like we have enough of science and math.
Oh my
and
God, we're not
literally-
anti-science.
We're not anti-science. I'm just saying we have enough of it. And I think that in our world, we focus too much on the mind and the literal and the evidence sometimes, and not as much of the energy.
Or like how we
Unspoken.
relate to what's going on.
Yeah. So I think it's all equally important. And I'm tired of people shitting on astrology. And I'm tired of when I start talking about human design, my husband being
I'm
like,
sick of defending it, and it's like
sick of defending it.
it's like you're interested or you're not. I think it's at the very least an opportunity to talk about things that you wouldn't talk about otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
in what other context would you be like, how do you emotionally process these type of situations? I mean, I guess in therapy, but if you're
Therapy. I'm just kidding. I'm just
if
kidding. I
you're
love
lucky.
therapy. Therapy's great. Shout out to
So,
therapy. Max came back.
so on subsequent episodes, we're gonna look at voice notes from listeners and start
But
with chart confession. So if you
what's a
hear,
chart confession?
I don't know, like just are you confess, like I want to hear questions about the chart, like things that you know about yourself or things that you think are
We should
wild.
definitely do. You don't have to do it on the podcast if you don't want, but I don't think I've ever had my specific astrological chart deep dived into. I've had it
Oh,
for human design, but not for
yeah, well, think about that.
what?
Well,
What do you want
yeah,
to think about?
I'm doing I mean I'm doing a chart today.
Oh, great.
And we can talk about
Is
how
it like a rando, like
no, it's a
surprise?
celebrity.
Ooh, okay.
I do celebrity charts.
Honey, I do celebrity.
Yeah. Well, do
The only chart worthy of me are celebrity charts.
no,
I'm just
I do, I have thought about like I should do some of the chart of the person who comes on, but we talked about it, your sun, rising, and moon, even though you don't know which one
hold on.
yet.
I think it's right here.
Okay.
Do you want me to check?
Why don't you pull it up
I'll
while
check.
we move on?
Why don't you pull it up while we move on?
So, okay, so for this next segment, it's actually show and tell.
Okay.
So this is an opportunity for you to share something. Now, you had said you might want to pick a tarot card.
Oh, yes, for sure. Okay. Sun sign, Scorpio, rising, Aquarius. I wrote down how people perceive you / how you present yourself. Is that true?
Yeah, to some degree.
Moon sign, Gemini, inner self feelings, emotions, instincts.
Every person who has Aquarius writing, they're like extremely social. They have like a big social network.
That's
They
true.
are really like interested in their friendships and their lives, and they really like prioritize that. So they like tend to have like just a lot of people around them at all times.
Hmm.
And then what I mentioned earlier about Aquarius having this like activist sensibility
Hmm.
of kind of being interested in how we operate as a society and as a collective.
Hmm.
Okay, so why don't you do your show and tell for us?
Which one are falling to you? They're
Oh, I saw Magical Spirit and I loved
okay. They're yeah,
it.
love
Show the
it.
camera.
I was gonna say it's pretty sexy.
Yeah, that's
Okay, Magical Oracle. There's two that are missing though because I drew them recently and they're on my desk. Is it gonna ruin it? Oh my gosh, did I just ruin it? Do we have to do the other one now?
no, it's
Did I
okay.
go? If we're saying
They're not meant
seriously,
for me.
if we're really being serious here, then everything's totally messed up. Ooh, look what the inside of the box says.
Trust yourself. I do. I try.
We all try, right? Okay, got the little book. Okay, what did you want me to do? You wanted me to pull
I
one?
think let's pick a card
Pick a card.
for
God. For the
well,
session?
yeah, for today for our listeners.
Okay. Focus. What's the name of the podcast again?
My planet's in what?
My planets in what? I'm focusing on that as
Okay.
I'm shuffling.
What do we need to know?
Tell us, vast, grand universe. What do we need to know? What is the theme or the focus of
The mystic. Just call me out, why don't you?
mystic, intuition, high priestess, visionary? There is a reason you have those dreams. That's what it says. Should we read the little thing?
So I'm actually going next week to the National Astrology Conference.
That's
I mean,
cool.
I know this is my purpose. I love talking about astrology.
I love it. I'm
Um,
like, should we do this?
you know what's actually crazy? So this ball, do you see how it shines the light through onto the wood hand?
Yeah.
So there's actually burn marks in this hand. Like I could have set my house on fire. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, like if you leave
Like it was
long
like it was
enough.
like multiplying the sunlight and burned a hole here. So that's why I don't keep this out anymore because it's
Because
dangerous.
it's dangerous.
It has too much power.
It has too much power. Also, this is blue.
This is well, my cats are present.
Blue and Max is down here. They want everyone to know they exist. Affirmation spell. I trust that I am a powerful visionary. Are you getting like some messages here?
I'm just feeling it.
You're a mystic.
Ah.
Stop doubting your insights, visions, and dreams. Take it in, Danny. Your magic and intuition are on the rise. You are more powerful right now than you might think. Trust that there is a reason you have been given these things at this time. Hidden layer just beneath the surface will soon appear. I don't think I need to read anymore.
Ah.
I think that's
Period.
period. And there's like, I'll show this to you later if you
Oh
want
my
to
God. You know,
manifest.
I was gonna say maybe that was a reading for our listeners, but that felt very
I
personal.
feel, you know what? It's like, I'm sure that listeners will get what they get from it.
Yeah. I mean,
Everyone needs to
we're
hear to trust themselves,
100%.
you know?
100%. Okay. Welcome to our next segment,
Welcome.
Famous Uranus. So I call it this because I mean a lot of
Because who doesn't want to say Uranus?
yeah, well most astrologers say Uranus because it's less weird, but I would guess maybe not Uranus. Anyway,
I
I'm
just think
calling
it's
it
funny.
famous Uranus. You know, the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they weren't discovered till much later. So, you know, I study traditional astrology from like ancient Egypt, and those
Okay.
planets weren't discovered at the time. So they're not included in the types of readings that I do.
Interesting.
However,
Now I want to
be-
know what planets were originally there.
it's up into Saturn.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wait, tell me the ones. I
So
don't
there's
know
the sun
that.
and the moon. Those are
Okay.
considered luminaries.
Those are the basic OGs.
Yeah, but they're not planets.
Yeah.
We call them luminaries. And then you have Mercury, Venus, um, obviously the Earth. Then you have Mars, um, Jupiter, and Saturn. So, you know, those are considered personal planets. Saturn's kind of on the outer fringe. So Saturn, you know, takes 27 years to go around the sun.
Yeah.
Um,
Saturn returns.
Saturn returns, a whole other episode.
Whole other episode.
Long story short, you know, like the outer planets take a really long time to go around the sun.
Mhm.
And so it's like there's not that much to be able to say like, oh, your Uranus is in Sagittarius, like so is mine. It doesn't really mean that much because it's like it's in that sign for such a long time.
Okay.
So we call them like generational influencers
Okay.
because they impact generations, and you can start to see like, oh, when this generation of people, you know, were born with Uranus and
I did
Sagittarius.
listen to a podcast about that. I was
Yeah.
like talking about the different.
So like when we were born, you know, like Neptune and Uranus were both in Sagittarius. And so there's a lot of ways you could interpret that.
Yeah.
In any case, the outer planets are considered generational influencers. For celebrity chart readings, those are often included because celebrities are generational influencers. If that makes sense.
I also have questions.
So
about
famous Uranus, that's all to say that the, you know, famous people's Uranus matters.
They're like, it's not, we're not about to get into, you know, J-Lo's butt or Beyonce's butt, but we could. But
And we will because today's chart reading is Beyonce. And I'm like, of course it has to be. And I've, you know, on my YouTube, on my Instagram, I've read her chart like multiple times. But listen to this. Okay.
we should do one about her generatorness too and look about all the different channels and stuff that she has.
Love that. We could just make the whole podcast about like the mysticism surrounding Beyonce.
Yeah.
And I'd be very happy with that.
Yeah. I do find it fascinating.
So listen to this. So, you know, Beyonce's mother, Tina, just came out with this book.
I don't know her personally, but I do know her.
Please. We all know Tina though. Like she's much more relatable in a lot of ways than the rest of her family because she actually talks to press and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But her new book, Matriarch, she actually mentions what time Beyonce's born. And everyone had just guessed in the past. So there were these different charts out there with different guesses of like when she was born. So some people thought she had Libra rising, some people thought she had Leo rising. For quite a long time.
Well, I want to like double check her human design.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. So for a long time, we all were pretty sure, most people were pretty sure she had a Libra rising chart. It's actually the time that her mom gave in the book gives her an Aries rising, which is like so backwards because it actually makes so much sense because she's like, yes, she's poised. She has a lot of Libra in her chart still, but she's intense.
Oh, for sure.
She's
and
super
she brings
intense.
it to her art.
Yeah. And she,
and that persona and like so many different thoughts.
So in Egyptian astrology and in Hellenistic astrology, we look at the rising sign and we look at the planet that owns that sign. Okay. So Aries is owned by Mars, and Mars is a planet of war and aggression and passion, and her Mars is in Leo. And so you get the performer, the entertainer, the like kind of that passionate like warrior in entertainment. And you see it like in her facial expressions, like she's like like that's like her thing.
Sasha Fierce.
Yeah. So it actually kind of translates. And you know, when I did in the past her Leo rising chart, I thought that made sense too, because you know, the Leo is just so like present, like the hair, the like
Well, James, so me and James, Rochelle and me often talk about Leo stuff because Rochelle is my sister, James is my husband. James, they have that peacockiness. Like James buys a real beaver skin fur
Yeah.
top
That's
hat
why I
that
love
by
him.
a haberdasher that is this tall. And
Yeah,
Rochelle
Leos,
has
like I
like,
think of Leos as like cartoons, you know? Like they're
yeah,
like caricature people.
yeah. But I
They
also love that they just follow their expression and their love because
yeah.
it gives other people
Yeah.
permission.
Yeah, Leos
Rochelle
definitely
has
like
like a wall of Loungefly backpacks and shoes that are like this big for
love
all these
that.
different raves, you know?
Yeah.
Like she has like actual costumes in her closet that like when I would do photo shoots and stuff, I was like, can I look through your costumes?
Love that. I have a
Yeah,
costume closet.
yeah,
It's very Leo.
yeah. It's very
Wait,
Leo.
does he have his rising Leo or something?
Oh my gosh, we should, I mean, apparently we've already figured out like 10 other episodes we're going to do other than this.
Okay.
We should definitely do one breaking down
Come back.
and
Stay
see
tuned.
the expected like, subscribe, comment.
Okay, the last thing I wanted to say about
Yeah.
her chart is that she has Capricorn on the 10th house, which again makes sense because the Capricorn business acumen that she has, like she just understands business.
Uh-huh.
She wants to
She is
be
a
in
business.
charge. And Saturn owns Capricorn. So we see as a business person, she has Saturn and Libra. So very fair, but strong, stern. And, we've seen all these clips of her, being like, that's not right.
Yeah.
I told you this yesterday.
Yeah.
Like even, but serious.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
that's like, that's what I appreciate about her. She's like, no.
Yeah.
That's not accurate.
Yeah.
And the Virgo, everything. So anyway, we love Beyonce.
Love it. I
Um,
just love when women are like that in general because there's just so much conditioning that women are put upon women from such a young age about like, don't say how you're really feeling. Oh, you got to say it like this, but you got to say it like sugar coated 1,000,000% because only men can be direct. I don't know. Like, it's just
that's just like what
madness.
also just why I'm so obsessed with Beyonce. Like even as a young adult, she was like, no, I'm not doing it like that.
Yeah.
And then she,
Like knew herself
in
so
Destiny's
well.
Child, she was doing a lot of the vocal arrangements and wasn't getting credit by the studio until she started being like, I'm doing this all myself and you're going to give me credit for this, like as a writing credit on the song.
Yeah.
And then she ended up just starting to actually be a writer on all her music and doing all the vocal arrangements, like on a lot of the arrangements on Destiny Child tracks, like she like arranged the vocals. And she was like, always like, no. Like when I think of Beyonce working, I would think of her be like, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
Like it should be like this. And that's her. Okay. Cosmic forecast this upcoming couple of weeks. So Venus is still in Aries.
Okay.
And Venus is
what does that mean?
Yeah. So Venus
in basic terms.
Yeah. So Venus is like, the planet of love and art and that type of thing. In a day-to-day, I see Venus as a lot of how we're like relating to each other. And it really does go with the season, because Venus moves at about the same pace as the sun. So changing signs like every month about. Right now it's in Aries. So Aries, we were talking about that. It's bold, it's sort of aggressive. It's a very flirtatious position. It's kind of like, okay, we're going to like a Chapman alumni mixer tonight, which is going to be a whole thing. Perfect energy for that type of thing. Because we'll be like, oh my gosh, hey, you look cute. Love your shirt. It just like, and it could be just like a spark and then moving on. But it's like a great kind of social.
I feel like I read recently, is it good for like people who are single that want to like pursue or go on dates? And if you're in a relationship, like have like date nights and like kind of
it's
like
a
that.
sexual placement too. So there's that. And then Mercury is in Taurus. Again, Mercury stays in each sign for about a month. And Taurus is an earth sign. It's also considered a mute sign because the bull doesn't speak. So some of the signs.
That's funny. My mom, her sun sign is a Taurus, but she talks a lot.
She probably is Gemini.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. But Taurus. Okay, so Mercury in Taurus is like, my teacher used to always describe it. It's like you have dirt in your mouth. You're just like, you can't kind of get the words out. So
don't go chew on some dirt.
So obviously now is not the best time for like difficult conversations.
Yeah.
So like the flirtation, the Venus in Aries is one thing, but like Mercury and Taurus, like if you have to like get into the trenches, like just wait. Wait till Mercury's in.
Always wait when Mercury's out of retrograde too. People like roll their eyes.
Yeah.
It's like
retrograde Mercury, I'm so sick of people, obsessing over it because the sign it's in it is a little bit more interesting, because when Mercury moves to Gemini next month, like the words flow, things are kind of easy, chit chat, like the communication just happens. When Mercury is in retrograde, you do need to double check things.
Yeah.
But like it's not like ruining your life.
No, people are dramatic. I completely agree. It's one of the few things I actually put in my calendar though, because it just has me
Oh
have.
my
I
God.
saw that person. Yeah. I mean, come on. Aren't you an astrology person?
Yes.
Here's the
But
thing.
did you know that every planet goes retrograde?
Yes, I did.
You did.
I did.
Okay.
I
You're
just
the
don't.
select few.
I am the select few. I just don't. I just know it doesn't get as much play, obviously, unless you're
Venus in
consistently.
retrograde is serious, actually. It is.
Uh,
Your relationships go up for evaluation.
no, for sure. The everything. But anyway, my point is that it's more for the context it provides, not because I go into like book, by like
Can't
this like
sign the contract.
yeah, I've signed contracts when Mercury is retrograde. You better believe I quadruple check them. Like I've had conversations, I've posted things on social, I travel, I've done all those things when Mercury's in retrograde, and I've also but if I can wait to buy the technology thing, I do. Like if I go into traveling knowing like there's probably going to be some delays, like that's also just a general travel thing. It has it where when those things do, or if they do happen, it doesn't fluster me because I have the context of like the world is trying to allow us to slow down right now. And like, it's okay. Let me just like take another step. Let me have some patience. So I think that's why I like it. It offers me a context, but I'm empowered by the context versus people who are like, oh my God, yeah, I agree with you. It's like, gets dramatic.
Totally.
Like we can't do anything. Like, okay, there's pretty
If
retrogrades
you
of all planets.
the position that I put myself in a lot is like I don't want you to ever use astrology as an excuse because if you do, there's always an excuse.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
And so it's like, how do we work with what's going on? And I like your approach. Like,
Yeah.
let's double check
Mindful.
things.
Yeah. And people do the same thing with human design where it's like, okay, this is a modality, right? It's a modality full of distinction. And if that modality and those distinctions don't empower you, then like, why are you using them? You know what I mean? Like people get too focused or like nuts about anything. So my feeling is like, I don't know. It's like I think astrology is really cool, and I think it can be empowering if you have the right context around it. So like, why not have it?
There you go. Get your context.
Get your context
Um,
straight.
all right. So
Max is
the
still
assignment,
he's
the assignment for the week.
the assignment.
Yeah,
Homework.
homework. It's an invitation.
It's an invitation. I invite you to do this assignment. I don't know
So
why my voice got all.
So the moon is about to move into Capricorn from Sagittarius. This is, the monthly cycle of the moon.
Okay.
And when the moon's into Capricorn, we tend to be extra hard on ourselves. And so my invitation to like contemplate is like, how can you be like overly hard on yourself? And in those moments, how can you stay grounded and sort of stay positive? So like in the midst of the stress of like, I don't know if I can do this, or like so and so is mad at me, or like those kind of like intrusive, sabotaging thoughts. Like, how can you just say, hey, let's table this for a second,
chill.
Hey, that's my approach. Hey, that's how I talk to myself. All right. So, this is where I tease next week's guest or episode, but I don't have that figured out yet.
Plug in, yeah. You'll plug in. You can always do like you can always do a title card.
Yeah, I'll put a title card and you'll find out. But basically, thank you, Carly, so much. This is so bad. Yeah. You wanted to keep going?
I mean, we could complete it, and if there's little things you want to tack on, we could do it. I thought we were gonna dive really deep into Beyonce's chart, but I guess you did talk about it quite a bit.
I want to, like keep this as as an ongoing flow. I don't want to bore people to death. I think the most exciting aspect of her chart was just like finding that it's upside down from what we thought. And
Upside down.
I think that's an interesting thing too, because, sometimes it happens sometimes where like we've really familiarized ourselves with a certain chart and then we find out like the time is wrong. And like it can really change the way you look at things. But it usually also suddenly is like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like my parents have Libra rising, and like I know what a Libra rising's like, You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are very like socially aware and like,
Yeah.
and she can come across that way because she has so many planets in Libra, but like that is not a Libra rising person. I'm
Mhm.
telling you.
I want to look up the risings and stuff for James and for my mom.
Stay tuned for our next episode. Follow, rate, and share. And if your chart is chaotic, we definitely want to hear from you. So send us a voice note.
How does one know if one's chart is chaotic?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if you think something's interesting about your chart that you want to talk about, like you
Hmm.
have 4 planets in Aries or something like that. You
Okay.
know.
I mean, I don't need anything, but I would be interested if you looking up my chart because I don't, yeah. I
Well,
feel like
we'll have you
way
back.
back
We'll
in.
have you back on the pod.
He will, they
And
will.
we'll go into deeper. We can look at your chart deeper and
Deeper.
really have it be a little bit like instructional too. I don't want to bore people to death because I'm like a freak when it comes to like breaking down the details. I want to show people like how it can be useful.
There might be other freaks out there. You never know. You'll start having
If
people
you're a
like,
freak,
more,
text me.
longer, more.
Yeah, tell us what you're looking for, what you want to know more about. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you, fellow star fan,
Star fan.
starry-eyed star
She
fan.
just coined the term. My listeners are called star fans.
Hey, it's cute.
Bye.